Living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break the keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through. Enough to go insane, living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite lies telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends? We never met, even if you pretend. Am I in your debt? I don't owe you nothing. Don't say something you'll regret. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite lies telling you, don't waste it on me. Hate, rage, don't waste it on me. Spite lies telling you, don't waste it on me. Rage, don't waste it on me. Spite lies telling you, don't waste it. I'm telling you, don't waste it. Lies telling you, don't waste it on me.
Hello everybody. Welcome to the newest episode of the Midweek Mix-Up Podcast with myself, the WandrinDutch, and my co-host this evening, Chambalon. It's just the two of us. Everybody else can't make it, so we're going to rock out with our socks out. How are you doing this evening, Sean? What you been up doing? What you been playing?
Oh, hang on a minute. We're missing somebody, so I'm gonna have to do the boxy as he's not here. Although I think that's just for his show, really. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Accidentally mutes himself.
I've robbed his clap. He'll get annoyed if I start clapping every time I. Just to see.
Welcome to the.
I'm good. I'm good. I had a bit of a brutal weekend. Last week. 4 days off for the weekend. I had a 4-day weekend, but it probably wasn't good yet. But I did manage to get a fair bit of game in that time, which was good. I was playing mostly Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, nice.
Which I'm enjoying, but I think I'm going to take a step back from it for a bit now.
Oh.
I was getting a bit bored. I just felt it was getting a little bit samey.
In what sense? Was it the combat, or was it just because the story's good, but is it the combat?
The combat, and then it's running around looking for side quests to do, and the
Yeah.
move on too far and stuff. It's like, I'm really enjoying the game. I just need a little bit of a breather from it, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to burn out too much with that. So I'll probably go back to Alan Wake because I've not finished that yet. But I think that's the main thing I've been really playing. I was in the beta for Suicide Squad. So
Yeah.
I can't talk about that. I played the first day of that.
Generalized impressions, hit or miss?
I can't even say that.
Ah, come on. I can tell everybody right now to not play not look forward to Skull and Bones without delving too much into it.
No, I'm not. I won't.
You know.
It's an NDA. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I told you my thoughts behind the scenes. Obviously, I'm not gonna break NDA. To be fair, only because I get annoyed when people break NDAs and leak stuff and do stuff. You signed an NDA for me, so that's my thing for it. But yeah, what else have I been playing? We had a brief go of thingy that's just gone back in the Gamepass, World War Z, but with the aftermath.
Okay, I still haven't played that at all.
It's a good game. It is a good game. It's a very good Left 4 Dead type game, but it's third person rather than first.
Right, okay. That'll be interesting.
And it has a hell of a lot of zombies and running at you at some points.
Nice.
Like an impressive amount of zombies.
I did hear that, and to be fair, I loved the World War Z universe and film. So is this a case of as many, and are they as quick as in the film, or?
Yeah, they swarm you if you're not careful really, really quick. You normally only get those bits where you actually can hold them off with traps or machine guns or mortars. But even then, it's not like you're just popping things at a fairground thing. It's like they will just come up at you. So yeah, and it's also got the special ones. Like they've got ones called lurkers that hide behind stuff and then jump at you like the hunters from Left 4 Dead. They got ones that do the gas cloud like the bloaters. So there's still similarities, but definitely a fun 4-player co-op game. Definitely a fun 4-player co-op.
Nice.
I think what else. I think that's pretty much it because I was hitting the Final Fantasy pretty hard, so I didn't really do much.
Yeah.
Other than that.
See, I'm glad I've got this like schedule going for streaming now, because the reason I've set up that schedule is to get through a block of games where I can play them all, and I've got like a regiment.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'll never get through them. If I've got a regiment where I'm like, today I'm playing this, and today I'm playing this, and I get through them step by step. Like, I'd love to just play Final Fantasy outright, but then I think people will get bored if it's just Final Fantasy consecutively if I just stream that all the time. So it allows me to play Avatar, allows me to play Final Fantasy, allows me to play Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, and then Elder Scrolls Online. So, yeah, it's good. Have you played Elder Scrolls Online at all? You said you had, actually, and you said you got addicted to it at one point.
Yeah, like years ago. I've still got my character, but it's one of those things that going back now, I'll be like, I've forgotten how to craft, things like that. It's been that long, but I don't really want to start a new character because I've put a hell of a lot of time and effort into another one. So I don't know. I'm just looking at my achievements about what I've actually played. I remember yesterday I played the King of the Hill.
Yes.
Firefight.
We will talk about that as well. And chat, what have you guys been playing as well? Let's hear what you've been playing, and when we've wrapped up what we've been doing, we'll cover off whatever chat's been playing as well. But yeah, what do you make of Firefight? Because I had a barrel of laughs yesterday playing it.
I only played one game because I was just checking it out.
Yeah.
So I was playing with randomers, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
The one thing they had the map from the campaign in there as well. Actually, do you know the one where you go into the because we played a few rounds. I was playing with Infinite Umbra and one of his mates. We played a few rounds. And one of the maps we got was, do you know when you go into the tower before you when you've got like the horde wave essentially in the campaign, and you've got like that room where it's armory and all of the different UNSC.
Oh yeah.
That
the one that's the training ground type thing that.
Yeah, they've got that as a map for King of the Hill.
Oh, all right, okay.
And that was really good. That was a really good map for King of the Hill.
I thought there was only one map. Okay.
No, they've cycled
Mine was
loads
like
of
on
them
a
and they've added
desert.
that in as a map, which is really good.
That's quite cool, yeah.
But they've got a few. There was a couple of maps actually that I hadn't played before that was in there. I'm sure one of them kind of reminded me of Blood Gulch.
I've not played Halo like online for ages, just
Same.
because I'm hot garbage, really.
Yeah.
The only things I need to do now on the online is finish a season pass, which tells you how little I've played it. Which I can do with Firefight, to be honest with you, because you get your thingies for that. And then I need to get just a couple of people going, can we just jump onto a big team match so I can get into the vehicle, beep 2 times, and everybody pile in? And that's the other achievement. So I'm not far from actually maxing out the initial 100 on them, Halo.
Nice.
So I'm not far with that. And the 2 other games that I've played was that Rollerdrome.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard good things.
Which is all right. Yeah, it's different. It's more, for me, it's a palate cleanse. It's not something I'd properly go hours and hours at. I might play for 15, 20 minutes, do one map or fail a map over and over again, which is what I've been doing at the moment. And then the other one was, I've noticed it, my game share partner, we got the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. Yeah, that game hasn't aged well.
Well, I don't think it's not just aged well, but they've literally done bugger all to it, which is a damn
No, they've done
shame.
absolutely nothing. So it looks, quote unquote, horrific.
Yeah.
In terms of what 360p kind of. They've not even sharpened it up or anything.
No.
The controls are all weird. Like the buttons, like I'm pressing, like what isn't, like, so with the pad, most games go by a certain, A is for jump, B is for crouch. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of follows that. They've got a weird scheme, so it's taken me a little bit to get actually used to the buttons.
Yeah.
And I'm still right at the beginning of the game, and I'm just kind of like, I remember breezing through this, but I can't remember how to do stuff. I keep getting spotted, so I'm like, I just can't be arsed now. Maybe I'm just getting bad in my old age, but yeah, it's not a game that's aged well.
No.
I'm not expecting like a RE4.
But you would expect them to at least have up-resed it and like made it 60 frames.
I was about to say that, at least make it 60 frames. I was like, it looks awful on my OLED. I might as well crack out a flipping CCERT TV and play it on that. It'd be better.
Yeah, it would definitely look better anyway.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, having a HD TV, even if it's 720, it doesn't do it any favors at all.
No,
really doesn't.
That was disappointing because I had it pre-ordered and then I seen all of the reviews saying like this is just like terrible. Like it's not even a good port. It's like shocking. And I was like, yeah, I'm cancelling that. I'm not spending 40 quid on that. Not a chance. I was like, no.
Yeah, it's like the antithesis of a money grab, basically.
Yeah.
They've done nothing to it. They've slapped it onto a disc and then gone, there we go.
Yeah.
They've probably done some to actually make it run on modern consoles, but not enough to warrant how much they're charging for it and just the quality of the game. I still don't know how they're going to do the whole Psycho Mantis part, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Because obviously you have technically you have to unplug and then plug it back in, but you can't.
Yeah, so you put it into the other port, but there aren't many ports. I don't know. It's like, do you have to just switch your controller off and then switch it back on again, maybe?
Yeah, possibly.
To break the link or something? I don't know. That's the only thing that I'm kind of quite intrigued at.
Yeah.
As to actually how they handled that. And the writing's terrible. I don't remember the writing being that bad.
It was always that bad. We were just too into the stealth at that point.
It's the beginning flirting with Snake and the Chinese lady.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god. It's like, are they just copied my flirting style? Because it's awful.
Yeah, terrible. Like... Yeah. This is older generation flirting, just like really bad. Straight to your face.
Yeah. It's like, can somebody call HR, please? We have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear me. So yeah, I've been playing quite a chunk as well. Actually, I've been obviously like you, Final Fantasy 16. I don't mind so much the side quests. Like you, I'm doing them as I progress. So when I finish one of the story things, then you get to the hub world again, and then the hub world populates with little side quests to do. So you do them. The only reason I'm doing them is because I know there is benefits to them. So like, increase your potion potency, so your potions heal more, and it adds kind of new
Yeah.
materials or new weapons or stuff like that. So
Is there an easy way to find out if you've missed any side quests, or do you have to go to every little area and?
yeah, so in the main hub, I keep forgetting the name of it. The main hub world. Do you know next to the bounty woman
What, in the map or when you're actually at the base?
at the base,
Right.
where you go and collect
Oh,
your bonuses for the bounties?
Oh yeah, so you got the bounty board, and then to the left.
Yeah, to the left you've got the woman that gives you all the
Yeah.
bonuses. To the left of
Yeah.
her, that guy has all the side quests for the
The guy
world.
that I never speak to. Right.
So
Okay.
if he's ever got like a yellow dot on, then there's a side quest to do. If he doesn't, then you don't have any.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That makes sense. I probably missed some then. I've tried to kind of like hover over the area and then press the pad that opens up the map for that local area and just have a scan around. That's what I've been doing in the meantime.
Yeah. I just usually in the hub world I'll do anything that's in the hub world, and then I'll quickly check to see if there's any in the wider area, and there's usually not. The vast majority are just in the hub worlds, to be fair. Especially the further you go, it seems to be that way. Until you find like new areas you haven't explored. Because I tend to find when you get to a new city for the first time, it might populate with one or two side quests. But if you've been to that city before, nothing's there, and never ever populates with more side quests in that area. So as long as you've wiped them off as you've been when you've been going through, you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I've been doing. Just go in or do them as I go.
Yeah.
At least collect them anyway, even if I don't do them straight away.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure the side quests are done before I do the thingies. I've only managed to upgrade my potions once.
Yep, same.
I think.
Same.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I'm at the stage where
he just sliced off his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. You're at the same place as me then. I've literally that was where I ended my stream. Was I sliced off his hands, went to the base, checked to see if there's any side quests. I was like, okay, there is. I'll end the stream here. So that's where I've left it.
It's pretty much where it's pretty much where I've got to. Some of the bosses are fun. I'm flipping hard.
I think the bounties are bloody difficult. Are you doing all the bounties?
I've done the what is in like the side quests. Oh no, the bounties. Yeah. I've done all of them bar one, which is the A. So I've done the C's and the B's.
Yeah.
And I've got that.
You've got an A one populated. So I haven't had an A populated yet, but I've had a lot of B's. And one of the B's was a pain in the arse.
If you go to the thingy now, you'll probably have it populated. Because I'm literally the same bit you do. I got through that cutscene where you then went to the Emperor, saw that cutscene, I started, had a quick look around my base.
Yeah.
Saw the thing, and I was like, you know what? I'm just calling it now.
Yeah. I'll be looking forward to that because that'll be a pain in the arse. That'll be a pain in the arse. I think they're harder than the big boss fights. I think the big boss fights are more showpiece. To me.
Yeah, they seem to be.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
I was kind of disappointed that you didn't go into the Akon mode against the guy that you chops his hands off, or whether or not you might just do that later on because he obviously
think that
gets
might
rescued.
be a little later on because you can always tell by the size of the arena.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go into, is it?
But I thought you might like smash up the castle or something, just like expand and break it all. And I was like, oh, he didn't do that.
Maybe, but I did notice that there's got to be a new thing to do because, like, when you're actually, is it Econ?
Yeah.
No, Ifrit.
Yeah.
Ifrit. That when I was fighting him, I pressed like the left trigger by mistake, and how you've got your extra moves.
Yeah.
Like he's got two, but they were blank. So obviously you've got to put something into them.
Right. Okay.
Otherwise, it's just hammering X and Y, isn't it, and dodging.
Yeah.
So you must have some special moves.
Oh, you must have. So... I think they almost have, but we haven't got that far yet.
No, I can't remember who I was talking to. And I told them where I'm at, and they said you're about 20% of the way through the game.
Bloody hell.
I don't know if that's true. Daz, you've finished it.
Daz's finished it 5 times or something now.
Jesus.
He's addicted to the game. He's playing on fantasy mode now.
We're both at the bit where you chop off the guy's hands.
Yeah.
So where's that in the game? How far through? Yeah. So, yeah. I've railroaded your thing. What else have you been playing, or is it just Final Fantasy?
No, yeah. So I've Final Fantasy, Phantom Liberty, which I haven't really done too much more on recently, so I can't really speak on that too much. But I'm enjoying that as well. I'm enjoying that. Like I mentioned, Halo Infinite, Firefight, King of the Hill. Um, King of the Hill was awesome. I'm enjoying that, and I'm looking forward to playing with people on King of the Hill as a party as well. That is really fun, and it gets hard in the later rounds as well,
Yeah, it
especially
does,
when
doesn't
things
it?
get busy. It gets really difficult. I would like to see them bring back Warzone. I think is the next big update. I think Warzone from Halo 5 would be awesome for that.
I think that's coming. I think it has to come.
Yeah, has to. It's a really good mode. It's exactly the same thing. It's like a firefight, but it includes two teams that are also fighting against each other at the same time. It's just really good.
Yeah.
It's a really fun mode. So I think that would be the icing on the cake. I think that if we bring back Warzone, you've got King of the Hill as a permanent, Firefight King of the Hill as a permanent, and then now they've also said that they're leaving in the Halo 3 anniversary rotation playlist in there permanently as well.
Okay.
So that's staying there forever. Um, Hertog, yes, if you want to jump on Halo, then yeah, we'll play Halo Infinite Firefight King of the Hill, absolutely. Um, but yeah, that's been awesome. And then diving into Elder Scrolls Online from scratch. With
How you
with
finding it?
Fantos here as well. Fantos joined, and with now we'll be playing every Saturday evening with myself. So we'll be doing a lot of dungeons. We attempted to do a dungeon together, but then somebody jumped in our Twitch chat and said, "I feel sorry for you guys because this is a 4-person dungeon. Like this is gonna go horrible." And we ground and ground and ground and beat this bear eventually. And as soon as the bear went down, a fucking luminous green spider appeared, and that was the next boss. We're like, oh, for fuck's sake. And we got our ass kicked, like, immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we just laughed and did a kind of little bit of more softer dungeons that we could do. But it's good. I'm actually enjoying playing that as well. And I was looking to play, and I didn't want to jump into Skyrim again. I wanted to play, okay, I want something that is like Skyrim, but is a little bit bigger and it's got a bit of a different story going on. Um, so jumped into ASO and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying the ability to kind of pick and choose what you do and what you want to do next and different missions and dungeons and things you can do and leveling up and getting new gear and stuff. So yeah, I'm enjoying it definitely, and we definitely
Yeah, I think
welcome more people.
I think I ended up buying some of the extra packs for that. So I think I bought the what's the murder people?
Well, we got ESO Plus
The
for a
Dark
month,
Brotherhood.
which is $8.99, and that gets the DLCs for ESO
Yeah,
Plus.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I got the Dark Brotherhood DLC.
nice, nice.
And then yeah, I mean, if you played at like $8.99 a month to get all the DLCs,
Yeah,
it's worth it.
yeah,
If you're playing a lot, if you're just doing sporadically, then obviously not. You're best off just buying. But if you think some of them are there, what, 35 quid
yeah, yeah.
for the bigger ones, for the actual the
Like
expansions,
Necrom,
and then
for
like
instance, I think Necrom's
yeah,
25
yeah.
or 30 quid.
Whereas I think like Dark Brotherhood was like 15 quid or something because it's not actually a whole new area. It's just a cluster of missions.
Yeah,
Quite a big one, it's quite a big thingy, but it's not. You're still within the original. Where's it first take place? Tamriel, is it? No, Tamriel's the world, isn't it?
yeah. It is Tamriel, Tamriel Unlimited.
Or is
Yeah,
it
it is
Tamriel?
Tamriel.
Right. Yeah, so it takes place in Tamriel, and then you've got you've got the three or four expansions.
Yeah, yeah. So we did that, but we're having fun. Like I say, and the main fan were like, if anybody wants to come and join us and help grind dungeons, you're more than welcome. You don't have to get the plus thing to join in. You can just download the game. It's on Gamepass, thankfully. So if you want to try it, feel free. Join in. Bit of hack and slash. I like how it's either first or third person as well, so you can choose that. And of course you've got a variance of different abilities. I'm like Phantos ranged, very much close quarters in your face tank. So, really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. And of course, this Friday, I'm looking forward to Avatar. And it's been getting mixed reviews. It's got a lot of the big sites have been giving it favorable reviews. But the general consensus is it is a Ubisoft formula game. If you like Avatar in the world of Avatar, then you'll be very happy with the game. It isn't as filled up with junk like some other open world Ubisoft games that
Like
they've done.
Valhalla.
Yeah, it isn't. I'd like that. Actually, a lot of the reviews say, thankfully, that's one of the good points. Is it isn't as like congested with shit.
Yeah.
The world's beautiful. The parkour system's really nice. The combat's good. There's a variance of enemies to kill. The story's decent. But again, I think people are just maybe he's a little bit just not fed up, but I think a little bit just tired of the Ubisoft formula in general. So yeah, I think again it could be another Hogwarts where the name carries it and it sells well because of the name, or maybe it's not.
Yeah.
It depends on how Disney push it. If Disney push it like like Warner Brothers pushed Hogwarts, then it could do very well. Like I try to tell a lot of people as well as on Twitter, like you've got to ignore Metacritic because outside of the bubble on Twitter and developers, nobody gives a shit in the real world about Metacritic. Nobody knows what Metacritic is or how well it's rated outside of us on Twitter. So ignore that. It means absolutely nothing. People will see videos online. They'll see streamers streaming it. If they like what they look at, that's what they'll play. If they see a trailer,
Yeah.
they like the look of it, they'll buy it. It's as simple as that. So
I was thinking about this the other. I think it was today or yesterday. The whole Ubisoft thing is like, how many decent games have we missed out on that were never made, like the Splinter Cells and Far Cry's. Well, I suppose Far Cry comes under the Ubisoft formula. But you know where they just everything had to have a certain thing. They lost any originality. It was just the same thing, skinned over.
yeah,
Like even like was it Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal had the exact same map.
yeah, I think
They
it did
used the
actually.
exact
Yeah,
same map. Yeah, there was a big controversy about it.
yeah, I think
Or
it did.
controversy,
I think
if
you
you
just
guess.
used it again.
Which is just lazy. And
Yeah,
they're charging full price for a game that they've just changed a few little bits about it.
yeah, yeah. It's a
And
bit
we always
mad.
say every E3 we always say that the Ubisoft conference used to be one of the ones that you really look forward to, and now it's just like, all right, well, it's Just Dance, and I'll catch up on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. It is a bit mad. It is a bit mad. Before we get into, because I want to get into the topics, but before we get into the topics, I'm going to quickly download this GTA 6 trailer so we can actually view it when we're talking about it. But what have people been playing? Because I didn't get through that. What have people been playing in chat as well? Oh, your GTA 6 trailer. There you are.
Oh, there's one thing I actually saw on Twitter. I don't know if it's still actually up on the website, but if you want to get the definitive edition or the deluxe version of Dead Space, it's like £7,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, that's
I
right.
know Dead Space is in Gamepass right now, but it will leave at some point. So if you want to own the whole game with all the skins and what like that, it's like £7.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
If you
absolutely
don't have
correct.
it, go buy it because it's an amazing game. The sound, I know we're going to get into later, but I think the sound should win the sound. The Dead Space sound thing should win the game of the game of the year section for that. For
Oh, absolutely,
audio.
absolutely.
It's so good.
Was it nominated for that in the awards
Yeah, I'm
thing?
pretty sure it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure for like actual game sound design, not music, but the actual sound of in game. It's nominated.
Good. Bloody well should be. I'm back. I don't know what's going on with my Tinterwebs today. It's been very weird. Let's refresh. So yeah, what's people been playing whilst this is doing its malark? Go back up. Let's go back up. Let's go back up. Sin said, finally did it. I've pulled the trigger on the Xbox Series X. We'll be picking it up after work today. Congrats, Sin. Welcome to the current gen. Hope you enjoy it. Just trying to figure out what game to pop its cherry with. First impulse, Fire is Scorn or Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2, absolutely, Sin. 100%. Psychonauts 2 was my game of the year when that released. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal game.
Scorn looked really good and interesting, but its kind of novelty died out really quickly for me. I ended up getting annoyed and just never finished it
Yeah.
because the fighting on it's horrendous.
Oh yeah, it is. 100%. What else we got here? Nino Vostek. I was able to get Jedi Survivor for $27 Jedi Survivor for $37 on the Microsoft Store. He's also been playing Halo, Apex, and Starfield. 4th new game plus. Addicted a little bit there, Nino Vostek. Phantasir has been playing Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3, and Elder Scrolls Online with myself. Dazzly Baby said he's been playing with himself.
Of course he has.
Filth. Marion's been playing Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, no doubt. Daz has been playing through on Final Fantasy 16 on fantasy mode, but he's also currently testing the new accessibility controller for the PlayStation, which arrived today. And he's on his 3rd playthrough of Final Fantasy 16. I think that's it so far. I don't know if anybody else is doing it. No, that's it. Hertog Vin. He's been playing God of War Ragnarok eventually. Good lad. FIFA 24, Need for Speed Unbound, and Halo. It's a good mix. It's a good mix. So you've been getting back into Halo as well. Yeah, for some reason, I'm unable to download this video, so fuck it. My Tinterwebs is going a bit weird today. I don't know why. Never mind. Never mind. So yeah, we will get into it. I'll put on some Final Fantasy 16 gameplay while we talk about it then. There we go. A pretty little face on the left-hand side. Yeah, the GTA 6 trailer eventually released, and obviously it's already breaking records. As it stands, it has over 109 million views in just over 24 hours. It did 94.4 million in 24 hours, which makes it the highest game trailer ever released on the platform, but also one of the highest, non-music video on the platform as well, overtaking Mr. Beast, which was 54 million in 24 hours. So he smashed that into oblivion. So it is the most successful video game trailer of all time and non-music trailer of all time on the platform. But that's not what we're talking about today. So obviously, other than the fact that it's in Guinness Book World Records for that, we're talking about what we think about the new GTA 6 trailer, our impression of it, and what we hope to see from the game. Shom, I want to hear your thoughts on this so far, though, because I've got a bit to talk about, but what are your thoughts on the GTA 6 trailer? Are you semi-hyped for it, or is it too far out for you to be hyped?
It's a little bit too far. Because you know, is it 2025? But we don't know when in 2025.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good 2 years away, I reckon. It's not going to be the beginning. I think it'll be a Christmas 2025. I don't know why people have all got their panties in a flipping twist over the character and whatnot. Weird people out there. But yeah, I am looking forward to it in a sense. I've never been a massive GTA is the greatest thing ever. I appreciate the game and how, what they do to it. Like even now, people are finding secrets and stuff and whatnot. So I am quite looking forward to that. Like they had the UFO thing in 5.
Yeah.
I hope it looks as good as what they've shown. I hope that isn't something that gets downgraded. I can't, to be honest with you, I can't really remember if they downgraded 5 or not. It's been that, it's been that long. It's what, 10, 15 years?
Yeah.
Something stupid like that.
I don't think, you know what it is. I think, and the funny thing is back, especially when that released, nobody was really pixel counting or looking into things like that at all back then.
No, yeah, I suppose that's what it is people, it wasn't really a talking point. It wasn't a fanboy war type thing.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit kind of apprehensive in terms of what the game's going to be because it's lost 2 of its key writers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm hoping it still keeps the same satire that everybody loves about. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's the satire of over or exaggerating American culture in certain things. So hopefully they do keep. It does look like they've kept that. I was reading a thread from somebody on Twitter, and it was just pointing out real life people or circumstances that ended up in the trailer, like somebody pulling out the gator from the pond and somebody watering their plants naked, and the person that's the woman with the 2 hammers that she's holding. So there are those references to real life. So I'm hoping it still keeps the same type of satire, which I reckon it will. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a Trump in there, or if there's who's that guy? I can't remember his name. The bald-headed guy who goes on about Sigma males all the time. He's a little.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I reckon there'll probably be something about him in there, or a mock-alike type thing. So hopefully, if they can keep things fun, I hope the radio stations are there. I think that's what half of it is, just the funny radio.
There we go. Got the trailer on screen for you now, guys. So enjoy.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it when we go through.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good, doesn't it? It looks.
Yeah. Yeah, Digital Foundry have done a video on it as well. So Digital Foundry did a full 36-minute breakdown there, and they actually give some tech analysis of it. So they've said, judging by everything that they've seen on screen anyway, the vast majority, apart from things like the TikTok sections, etc., that they've got on there, is all in-game assets. It's all realistic. And one of the easiest ways they found out was the anti-aliasing that was on the hair strands, which you just saw there with the blonde woman. And said, that's a typical giveaway of knowing whether or not it's in game and actually using in game assets. So so yeah, aside from the TikTok stuff, which she said looked far too clean, the rest of it is in game assets, which is good. It is running at 30 frames. It is 1440p, but it is looking like native 1440. But it is also using ray traced global illumination. They believe it's full ray traced global illumination as well. So 2K30 is looking at what that is. But yeah, what's your?
I wish they'd been able to do what the Xbox did with some of the other the older titles, where they made it from a 30 to a 60 game.
Yeah.
By witchcraft, far beyond my knowledge. If they'd been able to do that, that'd have been quite cool. But again, it might just. I mean, Xbox did it with back compat with older games. I don't know whether that would work the same or not with newer games. My brain doesn't have the necessary computing power to know that. But it looks good. It does look good. It's going to be 30 frames, and it's not like I'd rather it be 60, but we're used to playing GTA in 30 anyway, so I don't know why it's all of a sudden.
Yeah, but it took them a long time. I mean, it literally took to this gen to get a 60 frames patch.
I mean, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to wait, because I know that the PS5 Pro is going to be doing 8K 60 with it, so I'll probably pick up one for
that. Is it not 8K 120?
Was it 8K
with
120?
full
I
ray
saw an
traced.
8K 60. Yeah. So I'll probably end up trading my PlayStation in to get that because
Oh, of course,
fanboys.
of course.
It's like the people just don't think.
Full ray trace, global illumination, and ray tracing, and 120 frames at 8K on the PlayStation 4 Pro. 5 Pro, sorry, 5 Pro. Uh, yeah, God.
I mean, I'd like it to be realistic. I'd like if it was 1440 60.
Yeah.
But
And
I
I
just
think,
think with the way that they make their games and how much detail and things go into it, I just think it's too much for the consoles.
oh,
If you think
absolutely.
how old the consoles are and how behind they are when they first come out, anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
I mean, if
everyone's
you've got a
kidding themselves
PC,
as well, Shom, if they say they're not picking this up day one, regardless of what frames it's at, because everyone
oh
knows they
yeah,
will.
like I said, I'm not the biggest. I never finished 5.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I'll
I
still
loved
be
Five's campaign.
either
I
me or my
loved it.
game share partner will be picking this up day one. Without a doubt.
Yeah. I
Have you
love
seen the
Five
maps?
campaign because like Trevor, this is the one thing. Like I hope the story looks like it's a Bonnie and Clyde type of story, which I'm all in for. It looks cool, but I think I'll
I've
still
got a
miss
little bit
Trevor.
of a I've got a little bit of a theory for that. The partner, I reckon he's an undercover cop, fed,
Oh, you reckon there's a
whatever.
twist?
Yeah, I think that's the twist. I think he's an undercover thing, and I wonder whether either he chooses to stay under or he what do you call it? Um, he goes to life of crime or he turns her in or something like that. I think there's a twist between those two.
Yeah,
He's not quite who he says he is. That's just my theory, so I don't know. We'll
it's. I mean,
see.
that would be a
We'll
good
see.
twist. It would be a hell of a twist. To be fair, there was quite a few twists in the GTA 5 story. I mean, like I say, I loved the story with them, and I particularly loved Trevor more than any of the other characters. Trevor was hilarious. I loved the fact that every time you went back to Trevor, he was always in some weird predicament where he was like naked in the middle of a desert and for no reason. He just finished tripping and he was like just stealing someone's bike or something. Um,
I like Trevor, but he wore thin on me at the end.
yeah.
I think I liked more the actual actor who played him.
Well, Mike, oh, the actor,
Um,
yeah, that's fair.
Especially, did you see that thing? It was like I think it was like a Comic Con or something, where it was an answering a question and answer thing, and somebody came up and says, Stephen O, I think his name was.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want you to tell me to go fuck myself. So he proper gets into the character, storms over and just goes, why don't you just fuck yourself?
Yeah,
It's just like, I think I liked him more than the actual character.
he is.
Um,
He's awesome. And to be fair, it was hilarious how much he actually is the character, like in the way he looks and he acts and things like that. Like that was him. Perfect.
yeah, exactly, yeah. I've just pinged you over the GTA map in comparison to from 5 to 6 on Twitter. If you DM if you want to check that out. I don't know if you can put that on screen, but apparently these are the two sides of the maps. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think
Oh Jesus, that's big.
yeah, if it's got anywhere near the story writing and character writing and even just open world, just listening to NPCs as number 5, I still think it'll be a great game.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'm not so much into the online thing. I think they'll just try and I think they'll ruin the online. They'll get too greedy. They've gotten too greedy in 5.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have.
And I hope that also doesn't leak its way over to the single player campaign somehow.
All right, let's add this picture on then quickly, and we'll show people whilst it's on in the background. Punk. There we go. Move this out of the way. So there you go. There's the map comparison. I need to shrink it. Actually, it's massive. Right. You got the map comparison from GTA 5 to GTA 6. It's a significant difference.
You know how big the map in 5. 5 was a big map to get from one end to the other, from the north to south. That was a fair amount of travel.
Yeah, it was. It was a hell of a difference. That's a big difference. That's a massive map. Yeah. That's significant. To be fair, that makes it, and even when you're thinking like flight travel as well, when you're going from one end of the map to the other, that's a
Yeah,
hell of
you're
a
still
difference.
like 10+ minutes with the 5.
Yeah,
If you're just in a helicopter or a plane, it took a while.
yeah, it did.
And what I like about the 6 map is there's more condensed areas. Where if you look at 5, once you get out the city, there's not really much there. It's just an open of nothing.
Yeah,
Whereas there's a lot more. I mean, look, if you look at, let me see if I blow that up. Yeah, so if you look at the top, well, left middle, so you got Yorktown and Port Glenhorn.
yeah,
That looks almost as big as Los Santos,
yeah, it does. Yeah,
and that's one of the smaller areas, and that's not even downtown cityscape, the beach area, Vice Point. So it's going to be absolutely huge.
yeah, it's significant. But that's a good thing. To be fair, this is what makes, especially what makes the online even more entertaining. I think as well, but it also makes things like boats a little bit more viable, speed boats and planes as well when you're flying about in planes, and that's ginormous. That's more than twice the size.
I mean, we are assuming this is 2 official sources.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it is, if I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe
yeah, it's
I'm
a
being
little
a
bit
little
more.
bit,
It's a little bit too detailed to not be.
but you don't know how one is blown up to the other. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but even still, you wouldn't imagine that cramped into an area the size of the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. Put it that way, because let's face it, we are on new hardware. It is a
New
whole
hardware. It's
generation
taken them
more.
10
It's
plus
taken them
years.
more than a decade. Like it is a significant leap, and if you have a look at the likes of Red Dead 2 as well, like Red Dead 2's map was significant.
Yeah, that was Yeah, that was huge as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're not beyond doing a lot bigger.
yeah. So it's not, and then of course, then you're talking about the graphical scale of them as well. Like we expected a leap, because if you had a look at the leap of graphics from GTA 5 to RDR2, you said, well, if it was in line with RDR2 but crisper, like I think everybody would have been absolutely over the moon, and it seems to be kind of even better than what RDR2 did in terms of its graphical fidelity and detail.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's a big map. It's a big ass map. Holy moly! What do you make of the release date then? What's your thoughts on that?
It's about on schedule. What you thought. I don't get where these people come from with them releasing the trailer and expecting next year, because they've not done that for 5. They've not done it for Red Dead. There was, I think I read somewhere it was between the first trailer of GTA 5 and the second trailer of GTA 5 was something silly like 17 or 18 months.
Yeah,
And the second trailer came out not too far before the actual release date. And then with Red Dead 2, it is 11 months from the first and the second trailer. So it fits within their timescale. Let's face it, they're not Bethesda going, oh, by the way, you can play this in 3 months.
yeah,
They're like, you're going to have to wait. So when I was hoping at best it would be this time next year.
yeah,
But when people were touting, oh, yeah, it's going to be a 2024 game, I was like,
yeah.
I'm not quite sure. I'd be pleasantly surprised if it was, but I wasn't gonna bet my house on it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the developers, especially the ones that are bringing out big games next year, you think even the likes of on Xbox's side, Hellblade and Avowed and things like that, they'll be pretty happy that GTA is not in there next year. Like,
Yeah, I don't think Wolverine will be though.
no, Wolverine won't be happy because GTA is going to eat them up. Depends on when they release, but even still, then people are going to be playing this forever, and it's going to just dominate it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with
Okay,
25. Like I say, next year so far is absolutely packed. It's absolutely rammed with games
I
already.
don't really ever want anybody to rush a game.
No.
If that makes sense. So what, you know what I mean? It's like it's done when it's done, because if they rush a game, there's loads of glitches and bugs. You're just going to bitch about it.
Yeah. Well, it's not only that though as well. Like Rockstar, when have Rockstar not been at the forefront of pushing the boundaries of what the games can do? Like they've always
exactly.
done that, and they always will, and they will take their time. Everyone laughs at them because they make one game a generation, but that game is always almost the game of the generation pretty much every time. Um,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
GTA 5 was for 2 generations. It's like over 190 million copies sold and still selling and still one of the highest sellers every month in every country.
It was like in the top 10 for I don't know how many years. It was just
I
like
think it only
it's
fell out this year,
ridiculous.
didn't it?
Yeah, it's like who's still buying it? They've given it away I don't know how many times in PS Plus and Game Pass and things like that. Yeah, people are still buying it.
Still buying it. Still buying it on every platform they can. Every platform they can. I mean, I've got it. To be fair, I had it on 360. I had it on Xbox One. I've got the next gen update. I've got it on PC. What else? What else is it released on that I don't have it on now? I think the
Yeah,
only one that I
exactly.
don't have it on is PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's because I finished it. And am I hell starting a new online thing on PlayStation just for this? No, not a chance. Um, but no, it's I'm looking forward to it. And again, I'm just looking forward to seeing it visually when we get to see it in our hands and seeing what it looks like personally. That's a whole different kettle of fish as well because I think I always say this, but videos on YouTube don't do games justice because it doesn't capture things like HDR properly or at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't. If you've got Dolby Vision, it doesn't capture Dolby Vision on YouTube. You don't get the full Dolby Atmos effect on YouTube. So visually and audibly, you don't actually get what is the end result when you're viewing something on YouTube, even if you want to break it down. And no, like outside of Acer, which is the only person I know that publishes HDR content on YouTube, and even then, I think he's whittled down a bit on it. But it's very taxing and it takes a significant amount of data to upload that size video to YouTube with HDR. So nobody does it. Like no game dev uploads a video in HDR. None of them. This is just SDR content, which means you don't actually see all the visual representations of the colors or the deep blacks or the vibrancies like Vice City is, which is a very vibrant place. So, um,
Yeah, I'm so glad I've got my TV now.
oh, I bet you are. Your nice OLED.
Yeah,
How much of a difference has that made?
massively. It's one of those things that I was always like, it's all right, but then when you do upgrade, I was just like, yeah, this is completely different. Just having blacks as blacks,
Yeah,
not having that fuzzy little weird grey that's supposed to be a black.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so yeah, it's made a massive difference. If you've got the money to get like an LG OLED or a Samsung QLED, definitely go get it.
yeah,
Is it
100%.
QLED?
Yeah, it is QLED. Yeah, yeah, that's their
Yeah,
version. Yeah, quantum dot display as they call it.
yeah.
Um,
Definitely do it.
yeah, 100%. To be fair, there's a few off brands that aren't them that do OLEDs and QLEDs themselves. Um, that you can find at a lower price if you can't afford the Samsung or the LG variants. You can find OLED panels that are much cheaper, like around the 400-500 mark. And
Yeah, you can get the
obviously
TC. Is it TCLs?
TCL, Hisense, Philips, all three of
See, I
those.
did look at them,
Yeah,
but the thing is they didn't do the 120
yeah,
at 4K.
that's the only difference. Yeah, I that 100%. Yeah, that is the only difference. Philips and Hisense both do Dolby Vision. I don't know if TCL do. You might have to correct
You're
us on
asking
that.
Dave about that.
Yeah. Dolby Visions, of course, is Dolby's version of like a HDR, but even more vivid than HDR. It's definitely worthy of it, and it adds to an OLED panel. So if you can get that or have the ability to have a screen with Vision and OLED, jump on it, and you can get them like 400-500 quid for like a decent 45-50 inch screen. So, I've even seen one for 329, which was I think was a 48-inch Philips with Dolby Vision. It was an OLED panel. So it's worthy. But yeah, if you can do it because it's a worthy jump. And again, you can experience it. It is a massive difference when you see even if you just go back for the first time and have a look at like, oh for fuck's sake. You have to bear with us, guys, because it's chopped us off again. I don't know why it's doing this. You have to just bear with us. And I'm back.
There we go. He's back.
Hey.
You can get some good OLEDs out there if you are a little bit strapped for cash, and I would recommend getting a cheaper OLED over a 4K more expensive one, because if you're going to get a decent 4K, you're looking at 400, 500, 600 quid anyway.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. But the difference, I was going to say there, that even the difference when you go back and have a look at things like Gears 5, that is a standout one to jump on in an OLED panel. That looks unbelievable on an OLED panel.
I think I told you when I first got mine, the first night, I didn't play any games. I was just jumping from game to game.
Yeah.
Just looking at it and going, oh, that looks really good, right? That's what this game looks like. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. Yeah, it's just...
yeah. Game hopping. Right, let's see what this good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fantastic looking games, especially when you get an OLED panel. So 100% recommend it. But I think GTA is going to be one of those games as well, especially with the new with the global illumination that they used in this game. But also, even if you think of the vivid colors and the way that it did the lighting in Red Dead Redemption 2, with an OLED panel, it really just emphasizes how beautiful those games are. So yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. I'm intrigued about where the story is going to go and how they do the story. Whether or not it's a bit more, of a less wacky, down to earth story, with it being kind of a Bonnie and Clyde-esque thing. I think the whole Trevor, Michael, and what's his face story was a bit more wacky. Let's say a little bit more fun between them all. It wasn't like serious. There wasn't like a big serious story going on there. There was like a story. It was an intriguing story, but it wasn't like, it was just a good old fashioned robber's tale where they all kind of split up after this failed bank heist from years ago and eventually got back together. And but this looks like kind of a Bonnie and Clyde-esque type thing. I don't know whether or not these are the only two protagonists, or whether or not you meet up with others, or.
Do we know whether you can actually jump between the two, or is it just the female you play?
I don't know. It would make sense if you jump between the two, but it looks like you're kind of together all the time as well. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Interesting. I'm looking forward to it, that's for sure. It's gonna be fun. But it's 2025 and we've got a bunch of stuff coming out in 2024 that we can look forward to. So let's switch the gameplay back over there and talk about the Game Awards, because there's been a lot of people teasing things for the Game Awards in terms of reveals and what we can expect. So, Sean, we've been seeing, obviously, Addict has been teasing, well, if it comes off, it's going to be really cool. And then we saw Shinobi as well, saying that he's heard quite a few things, and if it comes off, it's going to be really good. So, what do you think?
And Jez has mutedly said something as well.
Yeah. What do you think?
He's a little bit shy. He's a little bit shy now after the old the Blizzard Con thing, where Xbox people, you have to watch it. It was just Phil Spencer on for 15 seconds or whatever, and then disappeared, and that was it. So he's like, I don't really want to say get excited, but get excited kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's trusted people, or people I trust at least, that they may not be, like, nobody's 100% of the time, but there's enough smoke to say there's fire.
Yeah, and like I said, like, people like Shinobi have no reason. They're completely like away from all this console war and not malark. They don't.
He's often accused of being more pro Sony. I'm not saying that he's a fanboy, because I don't think he is, but he has leanings towards Sony, and that's his preference, which is cool. I'm fine with that. But then for him to kind of go, maybe, then that kind of does perk your ears up a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does, and it's by the sounds of things, it's a little bit more significant. There's a reason why Xbox are pushing people to watch the Game Awards. So
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
first of all, there's definitely going to be Game Pass announcements because they've been advertising the Game Awards on the Game Pass app. So there's obviously going to be drops into Game Pass in there. Maybe is it going to be Baldur's Gate 3?
I think that has potential. I was listening to Xbox Two at work today,
Yeah,
and Jez, I think it was Jez, made a good point where he was like, "Listen, they've made their money back tenfold from sales on PC and PlayStation. So what is stopping Xbox going? Look, here's however X million, put it day one on Game Pass because there is a little bit of a not that they owe them because of the whole split screen thing on the S,
yeah,
but there's probably a little bit more of a relationship if they worked with them that well. So, because they found the extra, what was it, 35% VRAM that then could be used with the 5 and the X. So they've been working together. So I wonder if there's a cheeky little, we have a smaller player base, but you've made your money. Here's, or even it's like, how much would you want? And then you negotiate from there.
yeah,
So I think there's potential there. If this was the big surprise, I would be a little bit like, oh, okay,
yeah,
because it's something that's been rumored, for a couple of weeks now. I've heard this potential, listening to different people on podcasts and reading on Twitter, and then for everybody to go, oh no, you need to really be watching this because Microsoft are coming out fighting, and then for that to be the coming out fighting, I would be a little bit like,
yeah,
that's cool, but it's not quite what I expected.
yeah.
But then
Judging
again,
by what they're saying, I
managing my
don't
own.
think that's it. I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
that's
I don't, but I
Yeah.
am very much trying to manage my own expectations because let's face it, the Xbox are very good at over promising and under delivering. They're getting better, like they do sometimes come out and go, look, don't overhype, and then they drop a what do you call it, the beat game. What's it called?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah.
Yeah,
They drop a Hi-Fi Rush after saying, look, we've only got 4 games, and they go, actually, we've got 5, and it's playable now.
yeah.
I
mean, that
don't
would
think
be
there's going to be
insane.
any shadow drops. I don't think there's any shadow drops. Let's just get that straight.
Yeah,
People, they do it once, and everybody's like, oh, they're going to shadow drop Starfield. Oh, they're going to shadow drop. It's just like, no, they're not. This is a one-off. The last time it shadow dropped was, what, a couple of years prior?
yeah,
So, yeah, I don't think that is going to be the big thing. I hope they don't show another Hellblade 2 unless it is of the fighting. I think they're going to keep that back for them doing the thing in January like they did this year.
yeah.
Where the Hi-Fi Rush, I think that's when we're going to see a bit more, and then it'll be released a couple of months after that. But I don't know what the big thing's going to be. I can't really take a guess. I'm hoping it's a new IP.
Yeah, I think it could be. Now, and this is Phantos's member chat here as well. 21 month as a midweek mix-up berserker. He says, I know for a fact Arcane will be announcing a game at the Game Awards. Let's hope it's not Redfall related. No, somehow I think it's not.
No, that's the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are assuming it could be a new Dishonored. I mean, I don't think people would be upset if it was, but I don't think that would be a big enough wave if it was either. And I don't think that's the big thing that Xbox would be relying on. I mean, Dishonored, I know a lot of people like Dishonored, but it wasn't a mega hit either. Dishonored.
No, I love them, but I know very well that they're a niche game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would make waves either, to be fair. I think judging by what people are hinting at, it is bigger than that. Now, I said, would it be a revision console? Shom naturally went, I hope it's not, because a revision's not really got the same effect. maybe I don't know whether or not it's a pro version that they didn't release in any of these things, that documents that leaked. Or maybe it's a pro console.
Well, Phil Spencer said he's not really up for the pro console.
Yeah.
I don't see they really needed it. The only reason there was a pro console last generation, is because both were woefully weak. There were like several generations behind a PC before, when they released. So it's like they didn't need it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. It really is hard to guess what they could announce. What could they show off? Maybe it's Indiana Jones.
Maybe.
Eventually get that Hellblade release with the combat trailer. I know you don't want to see Hellblade again, but with a release date and combat, which is what people have been asking for. But even then, is that the big wave people are talking about?
No, it's not. It's because it'll be like the third year in a no, 3 out of 4 years that they would have shown.
Yeah.
Hellblade, so that's not a big.
God, it's difficult. It is really hard to know.
12 minutes ago, Jez tweeted, "No spoilers from me, but I know more about the Game Awards than usual this year, and I'm pretty hyped right now." But he does say that doesn't necessarily mean you will be, but there are some stuff there I'm very interested in.
World of Warcraft on console.
Could be. That could be the big one. I don't think so. I don't think. I expect that to come eventually, but I don't. Since it's only just a new purchase.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah. It is difficult. It is difficult to think what it could be. That would be. And we don't. At the same time, we don't want to get carried away because it is just the Game Awards. But Microsoft have made a point, like you say, 3 of the 4 years to make a jump and make an impression at the Game Awards. Last year they didn't turn up. The year before, it was Hellblade's first gameplay, like real gameplay kind of featurette, which people didn't believe was real gameplay. Year before that, they had the reveal of the Xbox Series console and Hellblade. And what else have they done there? I'm sure they've done something else.
I can't think.
But it is, yeah, they've kind of made a thing of making these big announcements as well. So, and the fact that they're actually sending out emails to tell people to go and watch the Game Awards, there's going to be some important announcement, was what they said. An important announcement and other cool things.
Yeah, they seem particularly bullish this year, don't they?
Yeah. So, important announcement? What's important? Interesting.
There'll be a Gamepass sizzle reel.
I don't think, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, outside of the Arcane rumours, I don't think the big news will be anything Bethesda related.
No, probably not.
I think it'll be a homegrown Xbox Studios game that was, and I say homegrown, but those before the acquisitions. I don't think it'll be Activision Blizzard. I don't think it'll be Bethesda or ZeniMax. Although it could be ZeniMax's new title that they've been working on. Was that a new... They were working on a new RPG, weren't they?
Who's this?
ZeniMax.
Oh, ZeniMax. Yeah. But, yeah. What was it supposed to be in?
Was it a fantasy RPG, wasn't it?
Was that just a while? Yeah, I didn't know whether it was actually from a IP that we knew about or anything like that.
No, I think it was a brand new world, a brand new universe they were creating.
Even then, I can't see that because that will definitely be cross-platform. That will be on PlayStation. That will be on Xbox. That will be on PC.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure whether they'd want to announce.
Yeah, I think it would be something for Xbox specifically. It's an intriguing one. It's hard to guess what it could be, but people, like you say, the industry or those in the know seem to be very optimistic. And they said if they pull it off, and if what they hear, and everyone's kind of saying the same thing, if they're all saying if what we've heard, and they're hearing more about it this year than ever, is true for what Xbox are apparently going to show, then it's going to be very good. Like, it's going to be cool. So, very intriguing. But also, side note to that though, one of Xbox's partners, one of the industry previous heavyweights, Sega, are also teasing something. They've also told people via mail to certain people to tune into the Game Awards because they're going to be showing something off. What do you think Sega can be showing this year?
I know he's going to hate me, but I don't care. I just don't care about Sega. I really don't.
The new Sega Mega Drive.
It's one of those things. It's like I was never a Sega or a Nintendo kid. I had both, so I was in that kind of era. Didn't really. I was never one or the other. I was lucky enough to have both, from the Mega Drive, NES to the SNES, and the Super Nintendo. I love the Super Nintendo, to be fair. But yeah, I just don't give a damn about Sega. I really, really don't.
Yeah. But another thing, actually, just before, I'm going back and forwards here. This is the ADHD going on because it popped in my head. That Tom Warren's Insider Gaming put out an article just before we went live talking about the Xbox Wu-Tang game, and they had new information. New information about it. Could it be the Xbox Wu-Tang RPG?
Maybe. It's not something I'd be like, oh yeah, I definitely want to play that. But if people are getting hyped about it, then maybe there is something decent behind it.
Yeah.
I do want to say something to Pixel though. You come at me, it's gonna be 1-on-1 in Rust. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'll 1v1 you in Rust, and then I'll take on Vin.
Yeah.
I'll take on Vin in shipment.
Oh god. Oh god. What do you think there's going to be? And that's a good point by Sin as well. Actually, do you think they're going to announce that revision of the controller? Because that was obviously leaked a while back.
Maybe, but again, it's not something I see really being I don't think that's a Games Award thing.
It could be if they announce it with alongside because essentially they could, like, the revision of the console, or this new revised console for next year, might not be the important announcement. It could be part of the important announcement, but it could go in line with a game announcement. That would be the important announcement. So they could say this is the revised Series X with the new revised Series X controller, which is backwards compatible with the current Series X and S and Xbox One. And these are all the new features, blah, 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 blah. And then they roll into the actual important announcement, which would be said IP announcement.
Maybe because
they're teasing updates and an important announcement. So the updates could be the updated console.
Maybe.
I mean, to be fair,
being at the games of that's an E3 thing or
another
event. It just the award show isn't really for that. That's why.
I was going to say, but is it though? Because at the same time, it's just a revised console. Like, PlayStation did their revision on a blog post, and like,
I'd be disappointed if they, even if it wasn't the main thing, if they wasted time or time slot to say here's the slim version. I'd be like, really? So yeah, that's just me. I just
Sour Blow said, "What about an Xbox handheld?"
I don't know. I think something would have been leaked, even just a code name.
The thing is, though, and this is the thing from Gamescom, and me and Boxy had this conversation with them, and obviously there's been a lot of teasing, there's been a lot of talking and things like that. But at Gamescom, we were speaking to the hardware team, and one of the questions they were asking was very specifically around our thoughts on handhelds. If we were to get a handheld, what's the things we would look for? What are our things that we want in a handheld? what are the kind of pricing ranges we would look to invest in a handheld for, and what are the key features we want on handhelds. They were really interested on specifically handhelds. We spent a significant portion of time discussing handhelds, whether it be the ROG Ally, whether it be the cloud only platforms, whether it be the Steam Deck. So there's a few of them that popped up there, and they were asking about all the features,
Yeah.
price ranges.
I think that could be a big announcement, a handheld. I don't think it will be, but I think that's a big enough, moving from what they used to. The only problem with handhelds is just the battery life.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
until we figure out how to cold fusion flipping batteries or whatnot. It's just going on a train journey and getting 2.5 hours it seems a bit of a waste of time for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So until you can start getting into the double figures for battery life, properly, then
Well,
I think that's
even
all we
even
see,
like
I think.
you're talking about even like 6-7 hours on a handheld is enough. But we're not even getting that most of the time now. We're talking like 3-4 hours at most. Maybe
Yeah,
2 if you're really pushing it.
I mean, I suppose that's all right if you think commuting wise.
Yeah.
If you're looking at like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so as long as I can get like, I mean, that's not how long I commute. But if you're thinking like a London or something, traveling into London on the underground and back, some people travel an hour, 2 hours. So if you can get 4 to 6 hours, so you don't have to charge it at work,
Yeah.
and you can just play when you're on the train or whatever. That's not too bad, because at the end of the day, a handheld isn't supposed to replace the console experience. If I was at home, I wouldn't go, oh, you know what, I'm just going to get my handheld held out instead of playing the actual console. But I mean, I get people that are Boxy uses his handheld
Mm-hmm.
when he's on holiday a lot.
Yeah.
So I suppose having a bigger battery then would be more beneficial. But in terms of overall, you get on the bus, it's half an hour, 40-minute bus ride, get your handheld out.
Yeah.
I can see the benefits of that and
It,
why a big battery isn't really necessary.
yeah, it's not as bad if it's cloud only, but when you start going into native gameplay, that's when it becomes taxing because it's a lot more energy intensive to run games natively. But ultimately, if you're playing on a handheld, you need native gaming, especially for traveling, because you're not always going to have good signal. You're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
always
If you're
going
on
to
a
have.
plane, if you're on a plane, you're not going to be able
Yeah.
to really play. I mean, planes are, I don't even think I've been on a plane that has a Wi-Fi.
I haven't,
So
but I
easy,
mean the US guys
EasyJet and
seem to.
Ryanair
Like
certainly
I've known
don't.
a few US guys coming over here, and on US airlines they can get Wi-Fi on the plane and things like that. But none of the British airlines that travel over there have
No,
Wi-Fi. None of them.
no.
I think British Airways might on long haul. I think my
Yeah, I think
sister's done it.
I think some of the long haul do, but you certain Ryanairs and EasyJets,
Yeah,
no
and
chance.
TUI and
Even
things
if
like
they
that they
do,
don't. Yeah, they
yeah.
don't.
So
And even then, like they were showing there was I think IGN posted a thing saying, oh, like playing the Portal on an airline airplane Wi-Fi, and actually they corrected
it's
them
the
underneath and
dream.
said, no, it's not. This is you're using the Starlink, and this is the only airline from I think it was like Chinese or Japanese airline that uses Starlink Wi-Fi. It's like that is not representative
Yeah,
of using the Portal
completely
on.
making it. Yeah,
Yeah,
completely making out like, oh, you could just do this on any plane.
yeah,
I mean, I don't get why he didn't just go, look, I'm on a Starlink. This is amazing.
yeah.
He didn't have to make out as if it's like just what everybody
Just
does.
standard Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that would be intriguing. But ultimately, I want to see. I would love to see another new IP, but it's a case of who else is left to show things off. I'm trying to think of what studio hasn't shown things off yet. I don't want to see Gear 6. As much as people want to see that, Gears fans want to see it, I don't want to go back into that rut of Xbox relying on a Gears, Forza, Halo, Gears,
Yeah,
Forza.
yeah.
I don't want that. I'd rather them show off new things. Granted, we've got a bunch of new IPs in the works already. We know
Could be
what's
Fable
coming.
gameplay. Could be like proper
Proper
gameplay, not
gameplay, yeah.
kind of, is this gameplay or not? I believe that what they showed was
I
part
mean, the fact that
gameplay.
the devs came out and said, oh, "Sorry guys, but that is gameplay."
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah. It's like, yeah, that was, like not all of it, but the bits where she was running from the
Yeah,
giant and the bit with the magic in the forest,
yeah.
they were gameplay. Yeah, maybe if they show some proper gameplay
Full
and
gameplay for
like
it, yeah.
people are like, holy crap,
Could
yeah,
it
this looks
be?
good.
Could it be this is the big shock surprise that Fable is 24?
Oh, could be, yeah.
It looked pretty decent, and I wouldn't put it past Playground Games to be like, "Okay, guys, I think we're pretty much ready. Like we're on the
To be fair,
polishing
they've had
stage
enough time.
now."
They've had enough time.
They've done some graft on that, so I wouldn't put it past them to go, "Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good to go." Because they said we'll only show it when we're ready. They showed it. People
Yeah.
were like shocked by it, and if that's them pretty much almost ready, then I would say could be closer than we think, or could it be a shock announcement that Clockwork Revolution is actually coming out, because that one looked very
Yeah, that looked very,
close.
very polished and clean.
Yeah.
Um,
So could be
I've got a feeling that Thingy might not ever come out.
what?
What is it? I'm tired, so my brain's gone. Perfect Dark.
Oh,
I've just got a bad feeling that that's never going to come out.
what, that's been canned?
I think it will be canned. I don't think it's canned now, but I think it'll end up being canned.
Could be, could be. I mean, they've
I
been
just
super
think it'll
quiet
be
on it.
I think with the whole Redfall thing, they'll kind of go,
I
well,
mean,
it's not
they
up to
could
quality.
they could completely take it by surprise, and that is the shock announcement.
Maybe, yeah, maybe that is the shock one. But just from any movement, you saw a lot of high quality devs leave. I know they've got Crystal Dynamics involved, but
Yeah.
I've got a bad feeling about that game, and I think if it does come out, I think it will flop. I don't know why. Maybe it's the pessimist in me, but I've got a bad feeling about that game.
Yeah.
I'd love to be proven wrong. I'm not somebody who's like, oh no, I was wrong. It's just like I'd love to be proven wrong. I've just got a bad feeling about it.
Yeah. And I don't think the likes of State of Decay 3 has the big wow factor as much as we're looking forward to it. I think
that's
that would.
a couple of years out anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that would have the wow factor either. I don't think that would be like a woo big one.
Yeah.
Intriguing. What do you think? What do you think? Is anything else outside of Xbox? Do you think they'll be shown up at the Game Awards then? Or do you think it's Xbox taking the lead here and doing the big stuff?
I think there's potential for Wolverine.
Like an actual first look teaser.
Yeah, because that's probably going to be 25, so they should have something now to show.
Yeah.
But I mean, we don't really know what else is coming out for. You got Ghost of Tsushima 2, but I don't think that's anywhere close to being.
Nah, it's miles off.
I mean, I don't even know how that's going to be. I mean, because it's like, are you going to go back to the same island?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. Unless they call it Ghost of something, they move it to a new location. And
yeah, they could do that.
So maybe that. But I don't know. I don't see Sony having really anything in the works at the moment, especially with the heavy focus on games as a service that's now been dialed back. It's not like they can suddenly go, right, well, let's just pull this out of our ass and we've got this game coming out.
I don't think Sony will be there, They're there with the games, like they're representing the games that have been nominated, but I don't think they'll be there.
Well, they are. Well, we know that they are going to be there.
Yeah.
The Last of Us TV.
Oh God, yeah. Probably
Maybe
show
they'll
off
show
the
a bit
Last of
more.
Us 1 remake trailer, or Last of Us 2 remake, whatever it is, trailer.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was about to say the remake trailer.
But yeah, Focus Home Interactive said they're going to be there. They put a little meme on today, of you're going to announce the Space Marine 2 release date, and then the whole Anakin thing where he's like you're going to release it, aren't you? And then nothing, no
Oh
reply.
yeah.
They put that meme on today, so
Um,
I think they could actually put the Space Marine 2 release date trailer and put that together on there. So I think that's Focus Home. Yeah, it's intriguing. It seems like Xbox are just taking the lead this year, though. I haven't heard anything from anybody else, to be honest.
no, yeah, it's well, they've got the studios now. That's the thing. I think that's what a lot of people are a little bit scared of now, is that they have the muscle.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. Bit of a mad one. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. Um, I'm still racking my brains. I mean, we're going to be covering. So tomorrow night, of course, I'm pulling the late one. Fantos said he's going to join us again, so we'll be covering it live tomorrow night anyway. Staying up late to watch it. The only reason I've kind of done this, and the only reason I've done this, is because Xbox specifically said that they've got announcements to share, and important announcements as well as updates. So
See, that's the beauty of going to sleep and then waking up and going YouTube.
yeah,
I don't have to sit through all the crap
yeah, I know.
and all the let's have an orchestra or an advert, and then a ticker tape at the going. Oh, by the way, these people won.
Yeah, I can't wait to be demonetized moments afterwards.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're streamer friendly. Oh, by the way, yeah, your money's now ours.
Yeah. Streamer friendly for the duration of the stream, and then afterwards it's gone.
I think a lot of the streamer friendly is depending on who you are.
Yeah, 100%.
If you've got
An industry pass.
yeah, I was about to say, like, who's Game Over Greggy? What's his thingy?
Oh
Kind of
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Like, they're not going to get demonetized.
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not.
But the smaller people, they're just like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. I wonder who's going to gate crash today this time.
Oh God, apparently they've stepped up security significantly for this one.
Significantly, I think he loves it. I think I think
The second time.
It wouldn't even surprise me if they're plants.
Yeah. You know what I really hate about it though?
Come on, guys. Yeah, this isn't funny, guys. It's just like you didn't really look too bothered.
Yeah. You just wanted the attention. You wanted the news clicks. And one thing I hate, I wish he'd stop, and I don't know why he keeps bringing them back. But fucking Gonzo, why? We're not 5 years old. It isn't funny. Like, no one outside, no offense to people in the US, and the US guys might think exactly the same, but nobody outside of the US thinks Gonzo the Muppet is in any way, shape, or form entertaining. It's cringe.
Yeah.
It's utterly cringe. It's an embarrassment. Like, stop it. It isn't a kid's show. It's the Game Awards. Treat it as such. You don't have the Muppets at the BAFTAs. You don't have the Muppets at, like, any of these big movie awards, so don't do it here. Like, that's what pulls it back out of being a serious Game Awards show to honor people into like a farce, like stuff like that. I think you need to scrap it. Stop being so bloody childish. Like, if you want to actually respect the developers that are creating these things, don't get these silly bloody Muppets on stage and stuff, man, that just take the piss. I think it's just weird. Really weird. And he seems to think it's funny because he keeps inviting them back. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Why are you
almost
doing
like
this?
It's a private joke.
Yeah. Oh, God. And then
private joke nobody gets.
Yeah. Yeah. And Sourblore says, I live in the US and Gonzo isn't funny to me. Good. Thank God for that. I don't know who would think that. Like, who actually... We're going to have to do a poll and just...
Well, Jeff's Canadian, so maybe it's a Canadian thing.
Oh,
Is there any Canadians watching?
I might just do a giant poll and see, does anybody actually find the Gonzo segment on the Game Awards amusing in the slightest? And then just share it with Jeff. And he might just stop fucking bringing Gonzo onto the Game Awards show going forward. Oh, anyway, that's my little rant about Gonzo out of the way. But I am looking forward to it now. I wouldn't have been. And I'm still not looking forward to sitting through copious advertisements, Gonzo, weird musical things, or Christopher Judge doing a 45-minute talk and a thank you segment. But outside of that, I'm looking forward to Xbox's announcements and to see what this important thing is. It's going to be intriguing. They did say, I mean, even if you go back as just after Xbox's E3, they said they had more to show later in the year.
Yeah, what did they else? They said that about a specific game, didn't they?
Yeah, and he kept
That's
actually
what it is.
it was id. It was id Tech because Phil Spencer whispered id Tech to the interviewer, and he was like, id Tech.
Yeah, but wasn't that more of a what you excited to see that's on an thingy? They didn't actually give a date, if I remember correctly.
Well, he didn't say anything about it. He just whispered it to the person.
Yeah. He was a little bit giddy about what they're going to
Yeah.
show. I'm hoping it's not another Doom.
No, I want it to be a new Wolf. Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I'd like it to be can you imagine a next gen Wolfenstein?
Oof.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe it's the id thing. Maybe that is the pierre de résistance, should they say? But yeah, we'll see.
We shall see, indeed. We shall see.
I will find out. I will find out when I wake up at 5 o'clock on Friday morning.
Yep. And to bring to the attention as well, one thing we did, I was struggling to find it, but of course you were telling us about it just before the show as well. The final thing that we'll cover off for today, and of course with it only being the two of us, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter podcast, but that's fine. Was the Bungie development, and of course we've had Bungie developers come out and say the atmosphere is soul crushing amid layoffs, cuts, and fear of total Sony takeover. The Destiny 2 and Marathon developer may not be able to cling to the last of its independence forever. There's a lot of kind of behind the scenes things where some of the Bungie guys say if this next DLC doesn't hit the mark for Destiny, then that could be pretty much it. And Sony will completely take over everything for them in order to kind of try and save something. What do you think of that development? What do you think of the devs physically now coming out and saying, listen, it's a shit show here, it's like really bad working atmosphere, it's like soul crushing to work here and it's toxic. What do you think of that development?
It doesn't look good, does it?
No.
It doesn't look good at all for the guys at Bungie. Like I was reading somewhere that if the new DLC doesn't hit, expect more layoffs. I mean, I don't know what the contract is for them because I know there's this whole they're independent, but I don't know if there's any caveats to that. Whether it's like you have to bring in this amount of money or whatnot, or your profits have to be X, which means Y they do more layoffs so that they can keep their independence. And then if they don't, what does that actually mean for multiplat going forwards? Will Sony actually go, no, Marathon is going to be a PS only game?
Yeah.
They'd be incredibly stupid to do that because they need, like, for a live service game, whether that be Xbox or PlayStation, I think you need to open it up to
for the vast majority.
platforms.
Yeah, for the vast majority you do.
Which is why I think the guys that do Elder Scrolls Online, their next game will be multi-plat because it just makes sense. You want to inhabit that world by as many players as possible.
Yeah.
But Sony are stubborn.
Oh, massively stubborn. Massively. It's not great to see, I don't know, like, what on earth is going on over at Sony at the moment.
I think they're rocked in a way of it's not like from what Xbox is doing, more of an internal thing.
I just
Ryan,
the
fact that he, yeah, go on.
I was going to say, what I think they're struggling with is I think they're struggling with keeping up with the industry trends and getting ahead of the industry trends. I think
there is an element of that. I think they're so stubborn with this is how gaming is, and this is how we're going to do it. It's going to be about console sales. It's going to be about having exclusives, or buying third party games. They're not keeping up, and it's gonna come across. But they're trying to tell people how the industry should be, and everybody else is going, yeah, that's not it. You know, you go do you, but we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Which is why you're seeing Microsoft diversify. You know, they've now got a console business. They have a PC, a type of PC thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's growing. It's not perfect, and they have mobile. So if any one of those three fail, you've got the other two to back up. It's a bit like if anybody's familiar with the Manx flag,
Yeah.
it's three feet, and the whole motto behind it is if one falls, the other carry kind of thing. And I think that's what Microsoft is trying to set up is that if one kind of has a bad year, or I don't see one failing, but if one is falling behind a bit, you've got the other revenues to back up the rest of it.
Yeah.
Whereas they just seem so staunch, and this is what I don't get from fanboys, is they kind of almost whisper in their ears, going, "Yeah, this is how you do it. You know, you're right to do it. This is why you get the whole we believe in generations, because that's what the fanboys and the hardcores wanted to hear. It's not what they ended up doing because they knew it was utter rubbish.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it is a case of what you were saying. It's I don't know, but it's just there's something not right going on there with the fact that Jim Ryan's like, yeah, I'm retiring because I'm a little bit tired of traveling all the time. You would have thought he would have told the board quite a while ago and that they'd have somebody in place to take over, but they don't. They've got somebody who has no idea about the gaming business taking over. They've got Don Matrick. That
But
maybe he's a
even
bit, you
then,
know, he's
like,
more senior than Don Matrick, but you know what I'm saying. They've got an emergency, like in football, they've got a caretaker, and they're like, well, we'll try and hire someone at some point.
I think it's. I mean, Jim Ryan said it near the end of his tenure. He said we need to diversify because console ultimately, as much as we make great games and they are successful, they're ultimately not successful enough. Like, it's all well and good selling 10, 20 million, but if we're selling 10, 20 million to a console base of 120 million or 140 million, that's not. It's still not good enough in the grand scheme of things on that size user base. It's not making enough money to justify it. So we need to do something that expands it, which is why they started bringing it to PC, why they started expanding to PC, why they started looking at mobile versions or being able to play stuff mobile in a some form. Why they've looked into other avenues of trying to make money. But there's reasons why Xbox also haven't invested in other avenues which they don't believe is justifiable for the R&D, which is VR. Like VR
I would
is
love them to announce compatibility with like Meta or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
If that's what you were about to say, sorry for jumping in.
No. It's, I think it's that is the. I think if Xbox were to do something VR, it would be something that doesn't require R&D on their end. It doesn't require them to implement or build their own VR headset. Because they don't see that as a worthwhile investment or use of money, because the market itself, as much as VR is somewhat popular in comparison to the worldwide gamer thing, it is 0.5% of gamers use VR. Like, it's probably not even that large. We're talking billions of gamers on mobile, console, and PC. And VR makes up something like 10 million, 15 million across the board on all headsets, not like just PlayStation. We're talking PlayStation, we're talking Meta.
That's just from Acer.
Yeah, and that's just Acer. Like, nobody else. Acer has all of them. But yeah, it's not big enough, and it's not a worthwhile investment or use of time. And we've seen PlayStation even now, they released the VR2, and then nothing else has happened. The no big games are announced for the VR2. There's been no updates on it. There's been no future things talked about. It's kind of just been pushed aside, and it's only just released. Like, after Call of the Wild released, what's happened?
Oh, that's interesting. Insomniac Games have just posted 33 minutes ago. I don't know how this is going to be. I don't know if it's like a foreshadowing or hinting or whatever. We're playing Sunset Overdrive right now on IG Live. join us to chat about the awesome apocalypse.
Oh, interesting.
That seems a little bit odd.
They keep hinting about it all the time. I mean, I'd love for them to make a new one, even granted, even if it is, because they do have the IP now.
They have the IP, but they can't do
a remake.
the first one. Yeah, they can't remake or
but they can make a second.
redo the first one.
Yeah,
They can make a second, but Microsoft still hold the publishing rights for the first game.
yeah.
They can make a second all they want.
So maybe they do a second one. Do I see it at the Game Awards?
But I just don't see it. It's like there's Insomniac seem to be very good at pumping out games, but come on, they've just done Spider-Man. They've got Wolverine in the works. I can't see them announcing the game after Spider-Man. After Wolverine. Like maybe a year before, oh, by the way, Wolverine's out soon. This is our next project, but I don't know. Would Sony even be interested in doing not a cast off, but
yeah, I was going to say why wouldn't there be? Would be my question. Why wouldn't there be? It's the game in itself was a really entertaining game.
But would they want to do a game that's already associated with Xbox?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You think just as a bit of a dick waving.
Yeah. Of course they would. That's what they used to do that much more than when Jim Ryan was involved. They were very much dick waving when it was combative. When it was PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox Series X, there was a lot of dick waving going on there. Even the Xbox One, PlayStation 4. There's a lot of that stuff going on there. Like, look at this. Look at what we can do. Blah, blah, blah. I think that's old Sony. And that's, as much as we hated that shit, that's the fight that we need Sony to have now. And that's not the fight that we've seen them have the last 2 years. The last 2 years, Sony have been like, whatever. Here's an article on God of War Ragnarok's release date. See you later.
Yeah, true.
Like, what? Here's the refreshed console. See you later. Don't care.
Yeah. I say, did they do anything for the PSP?
For the PSP?
Or was that just the handheld thingy?
No, they're just no. They said it at the end of the showcase last time. They mentioned the portal and the headphones.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything about them. And then ended it. Well, they ended it with Spider-Man. And then that was it. And then they just an article when it released. Or with the release date of it and the pricing. And that was it. They've got really lax. They've completely went off what they were. They are literally not recognizable from 3 years ago. They are not a recognizable company. It's not good to see. Like, we need both of these companies firing at full health. And at the minute, it is literally only Xbox. Nintendo doing their own thing, but it's only Xbox that are really trying to do something. Sony are just, at the minute, still relying heavily on just the fact that they are PlayStation. And everybody by name will just pick up the PlayStation.
Yeah. This is where Xbox need to do better, because where they lose is Europe.
Yeah.
Like, they're neck and neck in America.
Yeah.
Everywhere else is just like Boxy. I'm sure he can contest. They very rarely announce anything.
Nope.
There's no marketing for consoles in a lot of Europe. Like, the UK is different. The UK is a little bit more like America. But for the rest of it, it's like they don't really give a crap. And I think Jez has brought it up a few times. It's like localization. Why would you buy a console where they don't really seem to really care about your language?
Yeah. But it's not even like only that. Like, even the other day, they did the whole massive price reduction in America for the Xbox Series X with Diablo for like $350 or $360. And that was literally just a US promotion. But that is not a territory you need to win. that territory is pretty much, it's almost like 60-40, 50-50 in terms of how many people versus how many people on the other side. It is a territory that is very much well aware of that, of what an Xbox is. Europe and the UK, on the other hand, is still very much dominant PlayStation, and very, very little advertising for Xbox in general. Like, especially if you're in London, you'll see it. If you're down south, you'll see some advertising. If you're anywhere outside of the capital, you'll not see bugger all to do with Xbox. Nothing.
To be fair, I saw loads of advertisements in Manchester for Starfield.
Yeah. I mean, Manchester's also
like
what you would class as almost a second major city. The second major city in the UK.
Yeah. We had a lot of the digital notice boards. We've got loads of them about the city, and they were all Starfield and whatnot.
Yeah. And that's, to be fair, Starfield, but even then, I put that on Bethesda. I don't put that on Xbox.
Yeah.
Because we even in Cologne, at Gamescom, there was Starfield banners everywhere. Granted, that was Gamescom, but even still, they went out of their way to put it all over down the streets and things like that, all the way around and things. So it was noticeable, and it was like, oh, that's refreshing. And it was Bethesda's Starfield poster right next to Spider-Man 2 poster. Every corner. So good for them there, but that's Bethesda. And I think ultimately what Xbox need to do is team up with Activision and Bethesda and say, right, marketing guys from you two, you do Call of Duty insanely. So how do you market Call of Duty? You do your games insanely, Bethesda. So how do you market your big titles like your Skyrims and your Starfields? Right? Teach us what you know about marketing these big games and how to market them properly.
Viral marketing and stuff like that.
Because that's what PlayStation does. Like PlayStation for God of War Ragnarok, they had a giant axe in the middle of random cities around the world and things like that. Like a giant axe planted into the floor.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, they had like a giant truck that was being lifted up by Spider-Man on 2 lampposts that they'd fitted there. Like in the web, and like, it's mad. It's mad. And that's not what Xbox do. They don't do viral marketing. Like, we were all joking when Diablo launched, and obviously they had the wildfires in the US, and it turned New York City into red. But there was a Diablo poster in Times Square at the same time. We were like, that's convenient, and that's also viral marketing.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. Xbox are terrible at viral marketing, and they need to get better. They really do. But that's the only way you can win minds from the casuals is viral marketing. Because you put something random in the middle of somewhere, people are going to ask questions. Even older people are going to be like, what the hell is this giant axe doing in the floor? What's that about? Oh, it's about this new game, God of War. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they'll go and tell their kid, have you heard of this God of War thing? It's how it happens, but that's what it needs to be. But on the other front, outside of the viral marketing Sony are capable of, what they're actually not doing correctly at the minute is they have no pipeline for the games, or whatever pipeline they have is fucking miles away. They've been zero transparency on what is going on in that company or what is happening with any of the studios. Yes, we've seen layoffs on Xbox or Microsoft side, but on the Sony side, it's more consecutively all on the gaming aspect, whereas Microsoft was across 343 was the only one that had a drop of redundancy. The rest of it was R&D on Microsoft with HoloLens and other technical and R&D across kind of other boards in Microsoft themselves. So although they let go of a big chunk of staff, a lot of that wasn't to do with Xbox. That was just Microsoft. On Sony's aspect, however, this year, they've closed down a significant amount of smaller studios. They've disbanded studios. They've merged studios into other studios, and they've had redundancies across the board, including Insomniac, including Bungie, and various others. So something is not right as a whole in Sony. And Jim Ryan has chosen, either whether or not he's chosen or part pushed to go, whether or not he's just his thinking on how to solve the issue or how to progress isn't in line with the hierarchy at Sony. And we know Sony traditionalists over in Japan are going to have their own set of hierarchy and what they think should be done. And maybe they disagreed, which is why they kind of parted ways that way. He might be... I mean, Phil Spencer himself has been at Xbox, 13 years or more now?
Oh, in charge of Xbox.
Yeah,
He's been at Xbox.
Charge of Xbox, yeah. He's been there much longer. But you can see how much that's taken a toll out of him just being there. And the only reason he's sticking by for another few years going forward is because of the acquisition. And he's like, I'm really interested to see what happens now. Like, this next part is exciting me. Like, how do we progress this? What else is going to go on with this acquisition? That's exciting him now, so I think that's given him a little bit more of a boost following takeover. But Jim Ryan's been there a number of years now, and I think he's just tired of it. I think he's tired, he's worn out, which is part of the reason he's trying to take a step back. I don't think he knows what direction Sony need to go in order to keep up with the market. Not Xbox, not Sony, but the market in general. Like,
he's a money's guy, isn't he? He's not got his finger on the pulse of where gaming is going.
No. And I ultimately think that's the issue with PlayStation. I don't think they have people that have got the finger on the pulse as to where trends are or where trends are going.
They got flipping rid of Layden.
Yeah.
They got rid of the people that actually understood and saw where things are going.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a strange one. We want them to compete. We want them to get better. We want them to fix, because ultimately it pushes Xbox to be better. And then we all benefit in the long run. But Sony need to start pulling the finger out, and they need to start resolving something. I don't think having no clear idea as to who's taking over from Jim Ryan at all, and Jim Ryan being in position until
to have
April.
Somebody in place is just dodgy.
Yeah.
Like, even with Xbox, we know that they're grooming thingy for it.
Sarah Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. But there's a clear hierarchy structure there that you can see. Okay, it's either going to be Sarah Bond or Matt Booty, and it's likely to be Sarah Bond. That kind of steps up and goes into that position there. At Sony, you look across the board and you think, Herman Hulst, nah. Like, he would have his finger on the pulse, but he's not that guy. And you think Cory Barlog, absolutely not. He likes creating games. He definitely wouldn't go into that phase. There is nobody within PlayStation's hierarchy, like Yoshida. He would never. He was demoted into indie.
I mean, the only person I could think of is Herman Hulst, but even then, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he'd do it, or surely if they had him eyed up, they'd be like, right, Herman, up your step. Right, Thingy's standing down, but Herman's going to be taking over from, March or whatever it is that he officially leaves.
Yeah. Then who would you put in? Again, then you have the issue of who would be put in place of the studios when Herman Hulst steps up.
Yeah. I mean, you've got people like Neil Druckmann, but again, Neil
Druckmann's like one of them.
Be...
Yeah, he's one of them Kojima kind of visionary people. He likes creating, he likes the involvement.
He's not going to be wanting to manage. He wants to create, and I don't think you can do, because Herman Hulst stepped up. Is it Sucker Punch he's from, Herman Hulst? Who is he from?
Naughty Dog.
No, was Herman Hulst Naughty Dog?
Yeah, I think he's always been
not
Naughty Dog.
Druckmann. Not Herman.
Yeah, Druckmann's always been Naughty Dog, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm talking about Herman Hulst.
Oh, Hulst, he was from Guerrilla.
Guerrilla, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just not involved in them anymore because his job just doesn't let him.
Yeah.
So I don't think Druckmann, I don't think Thingy from God of War, Balrog. I just can't see.
I just don't think they've got the people there. I really don't. They're gonna have to find, and it sounds dodgy, but they're gonna have to try and poach somebody from Xbox or Nintendo that has an idea as to what to do.
Well, I mean, Bobby's going to be available soon, isn't he?
You know what it is? We'll laugh about it. As much as we hate him as a person, and he's got some serious allegations against him for the running of the company, etc. What he did for Activision on purely a business perspective, from where it was upwards, is possibly what PlayStation need, but they can't have the person, is the problem. The person that Bobby is not somebody you want around, but his expertise is absolutely something you need around. It's one of those catch-22s.
Too many bodies in the closet with thingy.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah, it's he's also going to have a huge golden parachute when he leaves Xbox. Well, yeah, leaves Xbox. Kind of leaves at Xbox, but when he leaves Xbox, it's going to have a huge golden parachute. So I can see him just taking time off and probably never coming back to the industry. Hopefully.
No, I don't think he really wants to or needs to.
Nah, definitely not. Not with the parachute he'll get. You get him, like literally about 50 million or something stupid, isn't it?
I think it's more than that. I thought it was in the 100.
Who?
I don't know. I like 120 kind of comes to mind, but
it's always the bad people that do successfully, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Never mind. But yeah, ultimately, I don't think PlayStation's going to be at the Game Awards. They have some serious issues to sort out. I don't think we'll see. I think, like you say, we'll see the Last of Us TV show. We might see a Last of Us 2 remake trailer, or remaster, remake edition, super califragilisticexpialidocious version. But outside of that, maybe's Marathon, because that releases next year. But even then, if they showed it now, they've got bugger all to show next year.
I think it's going to release next year, Marathon.
Nah.
With all the turmoil and stuff going on, they've just laid people off.
Nah.
They're threatening to lay more people off if.
And like you say, even Naughty Dog isn't like.
Don't do well.
Naughty Dog's factions is nowhere to be seen. That's fucking God knows where.
Yeah, that's dead. And as much as people, you think, oh no, we're still working on it. It's like, yeah, you're not. You might have a concept and things.
Yeah, there's a reason they said it was as good as dead, and someone's like, and Jason Schreier's like, no, I've heard from a few people that still, no, they're not. They're not. Just don't talk shit. They're clearly not really working on it. Some people might be doing some things in the back end because they're still tasked to that team, but they're not doing anything substantial that's pushing the game into like further in development. They might like just biding their time and like, okay, we'll just crack on until we tell you not to. So yeah, it's not a good place for them to be in, but I can't see them being there. Other than being there to support the games that they've got there, like Insomniac, Spider-Man 2, and like you say, the Last of Us TV show, I can't see them being there at all. Yeah. Strange. Do you think Nintendo's going to appear at the Game Awards? Do you think Nintendo's going to show anything off?
Honestly, I don't really know anything about
the
Nintendo,
Switch 2.
What they've got pipeline wise. Maybe the Switch 2. Maybe game wise. I don't know enough to even comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got 2 games in Game of the Year category this year.
Well, I didn't even know the Mario game was coming out at all. I'd never heard of it until it was like announced at the thing. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a Mario game. I didn't know about that. That's how much I actually keep up with Nintendo.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I say, I'm excited for Xbox. I'm glad Xbox are pushing forward and being active again. I just hope the rest of the industry will turn up. By that I mean PlayStation starts pulling forward again and gets their act in order, and fuck knows what Nintendo does. It's gonna be interesting to see what Sega's thing is. Whether or not it's maybe Sega's thing with Xbox. They had that partnership on that new thing they were creating. This new fucking next gen fucking AI Malak. Remember the big partnership they had with them ages ago?
Oh yeah.
Could be that Sega show off. Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be intriguing.
Nothing's actually come of that, has it?
Nope, not as yet. So we shall see. We shall see. But that, ladies and gents, ultimately wraps up this nice little 2-hour podcast here. 2 hours, Sean, we managed to carry this for.
Yeah, I didn't
Done
actually
well,
think we'd
yeah.
make 2 hours. I was looking at like 60, 70 minutes when I heard it was just the two of us.
We've done it. We've done it. Round of applause for everybody. Thank you. Yeah, but it's ultimately, I'm looking forward to Thursday to see what is announced. I'm not looking forward to being tired on Friday, but you know.
Yeah, I just don't want to stay up till 3:30 for like 50% adverts.
Yeah.
I'm just like I said, I'm just gonna go to bed and then YouTube it in the morning and watch it on the way at work on the bus.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what occurs. Hopefully it's a big announcement that you can wake up to in all excitement and you've got a DM on midweek chat of how excited we are about something. You can check it out.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, do that. You DM the bits I really should be
That you're
keeping an eye on, so
interested
I
in.
can just
Yeah.
Google them, yeah. Just go, I'll check these out.
I'll just any trailers that happen and are released, I'll just drop them all into the DM so you can just go, okay, click, click,
Yeah.
click. But yeah, awesome stuff. And Fanto Sir, like I say, will be joining me on Thursday to cover the Game Awards live reaction. We'll be sitting in our dressing gowns because it'll be late, ready to go. So we're nice and wrapped up. I've not had the heating on because this room fucking swelters because obviously I've got 3 monitors, a gaming laptop, the Switch, PlayStation 5 Series S, X, TV, lights, camera, action. So it's boiling in here. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's gonna be intriguing. But Sean, let the people know where they can find you and what you're gonna be up to.
I've not got my route yet, so I don't even know what I'm doing next week. Working the weekend though, but you can find me as Chamberlain on Twitter, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Awesome sauce, awesome stuff. And for me, of course, everybody, you can find me on Twitter, on WandrinDutch X, here on YouTube at WandrinDutch. Again, I'll be on Boxenberger's channel for World Gaming tomorrow, and then tomorrow evening, myself and Fanto Sir will be covering the Game Awards live reaction. That'll be at 11:45 p.m. Starts at midnight-ish, and it'll be on for like 3 hours or so, so it'll be a long one. So we'll be covering that. Friday, I'll be playing Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. I'll be streaming that on Twitch and YouTube. So you can follow on each. It's Midweek Mix-Up on Twitch or WandrinDutch, of course, over on YouTube. Saturday, we'll be back to Elder Scrolls with Fanto Sir again as well. That's from 8 p.m. for both streams. So every game stream is 8 p.m. UK or 3 p.m. Eastern. So, yes, feel free to jump in on those. But other than that, ladies and gents, I hope you had an awesome evening. I hope you have an awesome rest of your evening or day. And we will see you all again next week. Goodbye.
Ta-ta.